Yo, what's good, y'all? It's your boy HenDawgz, and we back to it. You know how we do it. NBA legends explain why Kareem Abdul Jabbar was better than everyone. Kind of excited for this video because I'm pretty sure Basketball Time Machine, he does a great job of explaining different reasons why these players are so good. And I'm hoping that it'll be more than just he's the all-time leading scorer in the NBA. I think he's at 33,000 or 38,000 or something like that. I know he's number one. LeBron probably gonna end up passing him, but hopefully it's more in this video, more than just that, explaining why he was so good. And I've actually had the opportunity because in Winning Time, if you haven't had a chance to watch Winning Time, go check that out ASAP. I was blessed to be a part of that. But in the show, they explain who Kareem was and how he tried to kind of mentor Magic, and he was already the man before Magic came. So Winning Time did a great job of explaining how good he was, but hopefully this video explains a little bit more. But before we get into it, make sure you subscribe to the channel. We're on our way to 10K subscribers. Like that's the next goal. The next goal is 10K subscribers. That's what I'm striving towards. That's what I'm gonna work towards. And then once we get there, then we're gonna go to 20K, then we're gonna go to 50K, then 100K, then a million, then 10 million, then 100 million. Like that's the goal. Help me out if you're not subscribed. Subscribe to the channel. Got one of the best YouTube channels on YouTube. There's no debate there. I've heard it. People have told me that. So I'm gonna agree with what the people say. So make sure y'all like this video if y'all like it, and go ahead and write something in the comments. Write what other videos y'all want me to react to. And I think it's always good. I said this in my Michael Jordan video, and also I'm gonna say it again. I think it's good to like I've heard fans say it a lot. Diehard Laker fans, Kareem is the GOAT. You hear people saying it, but hearing it from NBA legends, people that played in the league against Kareem, or people that came after Kareem that's in the league now, it's always great to hear from them players because they've seen it. They've played against the best. They've seen the best. So for them to kind of rank players, I think holds a lot of weight. So let's get into it. We got the NBA legends explain why Kareem Abdul Jabbar was better than everyone. Let's get it.
Hookshot isn't really popular in today's game because the players coming up, they've watched film of Dr. J and Michael Jordan, and that's how they want to play.
Why they ain't watch film of you?
Hey guys, this is Dominique Wilkins.
Hey, this is Sean Kemp.
This is Gary Payton.
Hey, this is August All.
Hey, what's up? This is Vince Carter here.
Hey, what's up? This is Matt Barnes. If you're an old school NBA fan like I am, make sure you check out the Basketball Time Machine with my man Sean Davis.
Hello, good day to y'all. How's it going? Welcome back to the Basketball Time Machine, hopefully your favorite NBA show. In today's episode, I want to take a look at NBA legends giving their opinion about how good Kareem Abdul Jabbar was. And I did my best to find some new clips that you hopefully haven't seen before. But before we get into today's episode, I just want to remind you guys, if you want to support the Basketball Time Machine even more, please check out the Basketball Time Machine t-shirt and your old school baller t-shirt right underneath the video. All right, enough said. Let's get right into it. So the first player that we're going to take a look at is actually a true NBA legend, Dr. J. And Dr. J openly admits that he's a huge fan of Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. So let's have a look what he has to say.
Who was the best player you ever played against?
Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. He was always in the way. I just think that if I were going to start a franchise team, he's the guy I would start with. I probably would pick him as an ideal teammate.
Who do you think out of the guys from your generation? Do you think Moses was probably the most underrated?
No, Moses is the most underrated because Kareem is the greatest. I mean, in terms of centers all time, Kareem is the number one guy. In terms of players all time, Kareem is still the number one guy.
That's high praise from Dr. J. He played against Jordan. Wait, did he play against Jordan? I think he might have been a little older. Somebody fact check me on that. Dr. J definitely played against Jordan, I'm pretty sure. But it might have been a little bit later. Played against Larry Bird, played against Magic. And he like, no, Kareem is the number one guy. But I know this is about Kareem, but I just seen him talk about Moses Malone. And I think that's somebody that I kind of want to do a reaction video pretty soon. So yeah, so let me know in the comments how underrated was Moses Malone. I said that he was probably one of the most underrated players ever. And that would make sense because I don't know much about him. I mean, I kind of heard the name before, but I heard that he was a really good player and he don't get enough credit. So let me know a little bit about Moses Malone in the comments. But yeah, he like Kareem. You know, Moses Malone was underrated, but Kareem was the greatest. You know, that's what Dr. J said. I think that's pretty cool.
You know, he's the guy you got to start your franchise with.
Because you get 20 years.
You get 20 years, and you get leadership. You get excellence in terms of
dunked on you
and defensively.
Dunked on you, Dr. J.
And accomplishment. I mean, you know, his numbers speak volumes.
And the next player that we're going to take a look at is Bill Walton, one of the most interesting NBA players of all time. Why? Because he always has, pretty unique and also very insightful opinions about certain players. So this is what he has to say about Kareem Abdul Jabbar.
Number 33, when he burst on the international scene with the fold-out cover of Sports Illustrated. I was in high school and I wore number 33 because of Kareem. And he was just the most incredible player that I'd ever seen. He set such a standard of excellence, and his relentless search for perfection just established himself as this remarkable beacon, ideal of what a basketball player, what a human being could be. I wanted to play on the same team, in the same program, the same history, the same legacy that Kareem had created and given so much to UCLA.
That's big time. So I didn't know, is that Bill Walton right there? Kind of give me the age discrepancies between Kareem and Bill Walton. I think that'll help me out a lot. Or were they the same age? Was Kareem a lot older? Was he a little bit older? Just kind of give me the ages between those. And then my second question is, was it true that he started doing that hook shot right there because he wasn't allowed to dunk? They said that he was dunking too much in college, I think. And they was like, they had to change the rules. It's like, Kareem, he's just too unstoppable. So there's no more dunking. No more dunking. And because of that, Kareem started developing the hook shot. Is that true or is that a myth? Let me know in the comments.
Kareem, he was the greatest player that I've ever played against.
Yeah, Kareem Abdul Jabbar, unbelievable. First of all, I'm surprised that nobody's ever done it, tries to do that shot.
Lots of other kinds of hooks, but no one's ever gotten the sky.
No one's got. But the thing about Kareem, when you look back at some of those games and those iconic moments where he hits those shots, I mean, he's hitting deep ones. I mean, he's hitting from 15 feet that sky hook, and you know it's coming. You know what he's going to do. He's going to give you a little shoulder or whatever, but he's going to that sky hook. And I don't know if there's ever a play or a shot in the history of the game that scored one as many points. And two, it was just, you couldn't guard. You couldn't guard it. And,
Is that true, y'all? Is that true? Is the sky hook, is that specific move by Kareem, has that generated more points than any other move ever? Let me know in the comments. And what comes close? Would it be like the Jordan fadeaway maybe? Or, I don't even know. Like, nobody's had just a signature move like that. So it has to be. It has to be. He probably generated thousands of points off that.
I'm just surprised that more big guys don't try to work on that shot. I know it takes a lot of finesse, a lot of touch. But, I mean, it's one of those things that I'm even thinking, why did I work on that? I mean, that shot right there was unbelievable to defend.
The first time playing against Kareem, but the first time he was on Sunday, and he just created just an incredible challenge for me. He was with the Milwaukee Bucks, and they had the interleague matchup, Milwaukee Bucks against the Kentucky Colonels, and that was my first time, competing against this giant of a player.
What makes that shot so difficult to guard? First of all, you got a guy who's 7'2" with incredible balance. It takes a great balance to execute that type of shot.
That's tough.
And the fluidity to come through, because once he get up there, he's up there all alone. And there's no way you're going to block that shot. But he stayed within an area. You're talking about staying in that box. And that's what Kareem did. And it was just an unguardable shot. And again, a guy at 7'2" with that type of mobility, that type of talent, and athleticism at that size.
Kareem and I grew up together. I've known Kareem since I was 14. So, I mean, I've seen the metamorphosis of a basketball player that started out at 14 and ended up being probably the greatest scoring center in the history of the game. I do remember that when Kareem was a freshman, you know, he wasn't as talented as he was his sophomore year, and between that year, I think I remember him going up to Cookshan's with Wilt. And I think Wilt had a lot to do with a maturation of Kareem's game.
Kareem is a long story. There's a lot to unpack with Kareem. You know, I met Kareem when he was Lou Alcindor. I didn't really meet him, but I played against him in high school. One Christmas, we had a tournament. Howard Memorial came up from New York to play us in that Christmas tournament. We ended up beating them 78-74. Fast forward, going now to the early 70s when Kareem became a teammate of mine with the Los Angeles Lakers. I used to remind him all the time about, you know, how much fun it was that we beat you at you know, in Schenectady, New York, and he always, if it wasn't for those officials, you know, we would have busted your chops. And he said, by the way, I came back the next year and we played again. We beat you by 50.
There's a big guy. Big guy's battling with you. He's going off one leg.
Say that, Pat, right?
The balance.
But I will say the space.
But where's your shoulder pointed at?
Oh, at the basket.
Yeah. So when
the basket.
And that's the whole key. Like with Kareem, he would get you, and then he had got so good at it, like all of you have, where okay, I figured out, like, if I can't get my shoulder around, okay, now intellectually, right, I can now change and say, okay, I got to shoot it 2 more inches over here.
So, Scotty, I want to pick your brain. What do you think are some of the most unguardable moves you've ever seen or played against?
Let's see, who's got the most points in the league? Kareem.
Oh, yeah.
The skyhook is the answer. That's the answer.
Scotty be hating, man. Just say the fadeaway, Scotty. Why not just say the fadeaway, bro? Like, just up your teammate, bro. Up your person that got you 6 rings. Like, why you can't just say Jordan? I feel like he go out his way to try to give other people credit instead of Jordan, man. I don't know. Am I off on that, y'all? Let me know.
Okay, so this is my question. Why don't any players today develop that? If it truly is the most unguardable thing anyone's ever
See, with the
come up
ones
with,
on, he got the Jordans on, though.
We've seen some
what?
sort of
I give him
baby ones, but no one who can really do it.
I think that shot kind of escaped the game, kind of left with the great one, because there's no one really teaches it. I've seen guys use jump hooks, but not the sky hook.
Right.
He's tried to teach it.
I was going to say, we had Kareem on the show quite a bit, which is awesome. And I mean, look, he said he's available, right?
Yeah, I mean, and secondly, Kareem was one of the greatest scorers in this game, so you have to be a scorer to even try to.
The level of good you have to be to even get there.
Accept that shot, you know.
It's actually a good point. Why don't people in today's game do this shot? Why is there not more people in the NBA that tries to develop the sky hook? There's a reason why Kareem has scored 38,000 points. Why he's the #1 scorer of all time. That sky hook had a lot to do with it. So why wouldn't there be more players? Why wouldn't the Giannis's and the Embiids and the Jokic, and why wouldn't all these players develop the sky hook into their game? You know, is it something that I'm missing? Let me know in the comments, man. Why? Let me know what's going on with that.
The way you just say Kareem, you say sky hook. I mean, which is the most unstoppable shot ever made in basketball.
The sky hook, to this day, nobody's ever replicated a shot.
I just think he's simply amazing in how he took a shot and just mastered it, and nobody can duplicate.
And I asked him one time, and I said, Kareem, since we're jazz cats, you know, the 2 of us, so I said, what would be that patented jump, that hook shot you got, the sky hook? What did it feel like if you were a musician? He said it feels like John Coltrane playing the saxophone.
Spencer Haywood.
And I said, yeah.
No, what did he say?
If you were a musician. He said it feels like John Coltrane playing the saxophone. And I said, yeah.
I don't even know who John Coltrane is, but it sounds like it's a good musician. Hey! Okay, Kareem. Okay, Kareem.
So how good is Kareem Abdul Jabbar in my opinion? Well, as you probably know, there are many NBA legends who consider Kareem Abdul Jabbar to be the best player of all time. And even I, as a huge Michael Jordan fan, gotta admit that I can definitely see where they're coming from. I mean, not only is the guy the all-time leading scorer in NBA history, but he also had the skyhook, the most deadliest weapon in NBA history as well. So if I had to pinpoint it in my all-time list, Kareem Abdul Jabbar is the second best player of all time. Alright, that was it for today's episode. Hope you enjoyed the content. Don't forget to leave a like.
Second best of all time? That's what my guy Sean Davis said. That's where he put Kareem at. He said he put Jordan first, then Kareem second. Where do y'all put Kareem at on y'all all-time list? Let me know in the comments. But I appreciate y'all for watching. Make sure y'all subscribe to the channel if y'all haven't already. Like I said, we are trying to get to 10K. We're not trying. We're on our way to 10K. I don't like to use that try word because you either are or you aren't. I don't like using the try word. But yeah, we're on our way to 10K. So help me out. Let me know in the comments, where does Kareem rank as far as your top 10 players or top 20 players of all time? Where does he rank in your all-time list? Like this video if you liked it, and go ahead and write something in the comments. I'm thinking about reacting to that one right there. It said the NBA legends explain why John Stockton was better than everyone, because I feel like he kind of is in that realm with Moses Malone as far as being super underrated. Because I'm pretty sure John Stockton is he's still the #1 all-time assist leader. So you got to give him his credit. You got to give him his flowers while he's still alive, while he still can accept them. So like again, man, I appreciate y'all like always. Appreciate y'all watching. We out.